Hello and welcome. You are watching Munsif TV's special program Beyond Borders, and today we have with us the Ambassador of Palestine to India, Mr. Abdullah Abu Chavez. We will discuss lots of issues, especially related to Gaza and Palestine. Your Excellency, thank you for joining us. It's really an honor to speak you today about Palestine's current situation and its relations with India.
Thank you so much indeed, dear Khurshid Rabbani, for having me this morning, and also I would like to extend many thanks to Munsif TV.
Thank you. What are your expectations for the future of Palestine after ceasefire, and how do you see the situation unfolding now?
Very essential question. The current situation, so to speak, a miserable situation. We are talking about now in raw nearly 2 years of devastating continuous bombardment of Gaza. Genocide, textbook genocide, as it was declared by the United Nations itself, as it was declared by many Israeli human rights watchdog, and as it is declared by the expert of the genocide itself. So that genocide, textbook genocide, is ongoing on Gaza. It cost us so far 66,000 Palestinian, vast majority of them, of course, women and children. It cost us 252 of your colleagues, the journalists, deliberately, intentionally, had been targeted by the Israeli occupation force. It cost us 95% of the Gazans people is internally displaced. Many of them is displaced, internally displaced for more than 10 times. It cost us also the vast majority of Gaza building, the vast majority of it is completely became ruins, rubbles. It cost us also between 12,000 to 15,000 of our innocent people who we did not know what happened to them. Totally, utterly disappeared under the rubbles or in the street, decomposed, and we saw hundreds of their remains decomposed and had been eaten by the dogs, the street dogs, in the daylight. This is just to mention the few about the statistical issue, and this is what did we used to watch through the media, the very limited media coverage in Gaza. What is happening in Gaza is tens, if not hundreds of times, is more devastating and more miserable than what I did already mention. Just for one issue, because again, we did not have an investigation, yet we did not have an investigation committee or fact-finding committee to come to investigate what exactly happened in Gaza, what was happened, and what is the consequence of what happened. Not only this, we are talking a war for 2 years, a genocidal war for 2 years, had implication for the upcoming 80 to 100 years. What I would like to say that anyone, when we are talking about this, just yesterday, the United Nations published a report again talking about 46,000 of the Palestinians endured life-changing injury, which means that they became, to some extent, whether totally paralyzed or partially paralyzed. And this means that we have 64,000 Palestinians whom will continue to be in need till the very end day of their life. We are talking about the environment, the consequence on the environment, the damage that happened. We did not know what type of weapons had been used in Gaza. There is a lot of evidence that saying that the vast majority of the weapons that used in Gaza is prohibited according to the international law. Ammunition still had not been explosive, because the official statistic talking about 10 to 12% of any explosive material that shelled on Gaza or anywhere else used not to be explosive. I mean, still active, and it had not been active when it was shelled on Gaza. So that we also talk about thousands of tons of those explosive material, which need special treatment when we will going to remove. Again, a devastating situation, unparalleled situation, need a lot of reports. Thousands of pages should be written about what happened and the consequence of what happened on Gaza.
People of India, people of the world want to know the reality of this conflict. And what is the real story? how you describe Palestine's issue and Gaza's issue.
Again, Khurshid, you are asking the very important question, the very key question, because again, anyone who did not know from where is he coming will not know where is he heading. You asked me the very, very key question that we used to beg the international community, the international media, ask us this very important question. From where this issue was started. Because again, the Zionist school of thought, the Zionist movement, and it is Western supporter, and many other in the world is still supporting it. When I say many other, I mean in general. They want us to believe that the story was started in October 7th. Absolutely, utterly, it's not true. Our story was started thousands of years ago.
All right, let's talk about Hamas attack on Israel. The Hamas attack on Israel on October 7, 2023 triggered a chain of events that led to the current situation in Gaza and Palestine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. But again, we have two schools of thought when we're going to analyze October 7. The Zionist school of thought, which want us to believe that as if the galaxy, the planet Earth, was created at that exact morning. It's not a rational school of thought. They want us just to believe as if when the Palestinian people, when the international community want to sleep on Friday night, October 6, everything was calm, nothing, there is no problem, no occupation, no refugee camp, and nothing at all. Then monsters, Hamas monsters or Palestinian monsters suddenly attack Israel and all of this stuff. And there is another school of thought, rational school of thought, which is represented by the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, when he, in his speech on October 24th, 2023, in his speech before the Security Council, when he said it was not happened from a vacuum. And when we talk about not a vacuum, we have two dates to back to it. Thousands of years ago, and I would like, as an expert in this particular issue, I would like to shed light on it. When Abraham left his birthplace or the Chaldeans in Iraq today and came to this area, to our land, it was called Palestine. And it is mentioned in the Torah. This is not our word. The very official document that we rely on it as a Palestinian, the most important document that we use it, me in person, use it as a title deed, as an official document that this land was our land, is the Torah itself. Genesis, first chapter of the Torah, verses 21/34. Says, we sojourned Abraham in the Palestinian land many days. Period. It was our land. It was the Palestinian land. The word Palestine, land of Palestine, land of Palestinians, Canaan, the land of Canaanite, repeated in the Old Testament hundreds of times. So when someone is denying that our existence, likewise the current U.S. ambassador in Israel, who said loud and clear that there are no such thing called the Palestinian people. We just refer him to Genesis, first chapter, verses 21/34, which prove that we are there. We are the Palestinian repeated. But our recent history also started in November 2nd, 1917, when the British, United Kingdom, with zero footprint in our land, zero footprint. When their soldier was here in India, they have no soldier in our land at that time, 1917, when they pledged without any right, any legal right, or any historical right, or any type of rights. They pledged our homeland, gifted it through the despicable, notorious, ominous Balfour Declaration. They pledged our homeland to the Khazarian Jew. And when I say Khazarian Jew, it's so important to differentiate between the Jewish, whom is descendant from Ishaq, Yaqub, Israel, and etc., and the Khazarian Jew, whom is Russian, converted to Judaism 1100 years ago, whom is consisting the vast majority of the Israeli Jew today, not descendant. Then United Kingdom in this despicable, ominous Balfour Declaration, pledged our homeland to the Khazarian Jew, to the European Jew, not because they are believing of the Jew, but according to Ilan Babe, is to get rid of the Jewish from Europe. And so that if there is an explanation or explicit form of anti-Semitic, it is according again to the Ilan Babe, the Israeli historian, the Israeli Jewish historian, is the Balfour Declaration itself. At that time, our misery, or United Kingdom sowed the seeds to our misery and to all the evil that we are enduring till today as a Palestinian people. Then when United Kingdom assumed the mandatory power over Palestine, they facilitate all the immigration of the European Jew to Palestine. And we, the Palestinians, received them as a refugee in our homes, in our land. But again, United Kingdom was not stopped there. It does not spare any effort to demilitarize the Palestinian people so that many of the Palestinians hang to death for one bullet. While the Jewish gangs, terrorist gangs, according to the British at that time, had been militarized to the teeth. Till we reach, of course, 1947, when the United Nations, again without consulting us, the indigenous people, the owner of the land, decided to divide our land between us, the owner, the indigenous people, and the new arrival, the Khazarian European Jew. They pledged to them 54% of our homeland. While what did we used to own officially? 94% of the historical land of Palestine. 30% of the population at that time, because even those Jews, new arrival, used to hold our nationality, our passport, used to use our airport, our seaports. The current airport in Israel, the main airport, Ben Gurion Airport, is a pure Palestinian, originally is a pure Palestinian airport called Al-Lid Airport. The current seaport, main seaport, Haifa Seaport, which owned by an Indian businessman, the vast majority of it, is a pure Palestinian seaport. They used to use it. They used to carry to hold our nationality, to travel through our airport itself, to use our currency itself, the Palestinian Genie called, and all of this stuff. Then, in 1947, United Nations adopted the resolution 181, or in other words, it called the Partition Plan of Palestine, which again designated to them 54% of our homeland. Until we reached 1948, when in Nakba, when they succeeded to expel us from our historical land, ethnically cleanse us. My father was born in our original village, Barga. My father was born in likewise all Abu Shawish family, but he was expelled to Gaza. So I personally born in a refugee camp in Gaza. This is the story. This is the issue of the story. It was not then there is of course, the occupation when Israel came to occupy the remaining part of the Palestinian territory. In 1948, Israel, instead of taking 54% of the land, it occupied 78% of the historical land of Palestine. The remaining 22%, they occupied it in 1967. This is the essence. This is the root of this is the history behind our misery. Just to mention the few, there is tons of evidence. Can we talk about it?
We have seen lots of countries recognize Palestine as a free state. So how do you see this development and how it will affect on current situation of Palestine and Gaza?
Again, there is 2 points. Yes, October 7th is fact. We, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, President Abbas, the Palestinian Authority, is not in agreement with what happened in October 7th. One word, loud and clear. We choose 33 years ago the Mahatma Gandhi way of resisting the British occupation and to resist the Israeli. The same, we are copying you as an Indian people. We are copying the way, the school of thought of Mahatma Gandhi school of thought. So that we choose the peaceful resistance for the Israeli occupation. So we signed Oslo Accord, which in Oslo Accord, where in Oslo occurred, we agreed to build our state in only 22% of our historical land. We are not in agreement with Hamas when it came to the October 7th, but we will not accept anyone again to enforce us to believe that this is the starting point of the issue. Absolutely, because we are national and we will not allow Israel to have a safe harbor on this. Because if we accepted this school of thought, this means that by definition, by the way, we are accepting all the misery or the carnage that is happening right now and the 66,000 Palestinians who was killed. We are accepting October 7th as a justification or legitimate justification, which is completely, utterly not true. Back to the issue of the recent tsunami of recognizing of the state of Palestine, and so to speak, a tsunami. This is according to the Israeli media, of course. Before this, just 2 or 3 weeks, 1 day before they start or this tsunami erupted, there were 149 countries recognized the state of Palestine. When United Kingdom, for example, recognized the state of Palestine, it correcting part of it is mistakes that they conducted, so to speak, mistakes. I will not going to call it crime. It's a crime by the end of the day. Mistakes that they conducted against the Palestinian people. But yes, it is very important. Step forward. It's necessary to add another 10 to 12 countries, Western countries, which is the very strong allies of Israel. United Kingdom is the godfather of creating Israel. France is the one that in early 1950s, the country that, or the state that allowed Israel to become at the early 1950s a nuclear power state. When they change their mind, there is something, this means that they not change mind because they are not supporting Israel, but because Israel exceeded or went far away from all the red lines that can be accepted from them. But the question is, again, it's necessary but not sufficient. I mean, the Western country, the international community should stop the hypocrisy and the double standard. If you are recognizing the state of Palestine, all of you came very late. India recognized the state of Palestine 38 years ago, but you came late, which is good. But again, it's not sufficient. You impose, in particular the Western country, impose approximately 30,000 different types of sanctions against Russia. It's time to activate some legal, economic, legitimate, political, and polite, and of course diplomatic sanctions against Israel. You cannot say that we are with the two-state solution, and the main obstacles to the two-state solution is the Israeli settlement. Then you did not stop trading with the Israeli settlement. The Israeli settlement, which is benefited from our natural resources, and it is denounced, and you are standing against it day and night, loud and clear, then it is a product. The settlement product is flooding your shelves in Europe. You cannot say that I'm against the Israeli expansion of settlement while you are in your banks, your financial system, your companies is heavily invested in the Israeli settlement. You cannot say that I'm against the Israeli settlement while the one who's representing Israel as ambassador in your countries, for example, is a settler. Necessary, their move is necessary, but not sufficient. We should move a step forward towards to implement or to make or to put nails and teeth to this move. And to do so, there is tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of moves and very legitimate, very political, very polite, very legal moves and actions that they can take it. And if they take it, part of it, the Israeli occupation that had been since 1967 will come to its end within 3 months. Within 1 month.
People also want to know about the role of Arab countries. What role have Arab countries played so far in improving the situation in Palestine and saving it?
Again, this is the exact question that we used to see it, and many countries using to say that because the Arab country, we will follow other Arab country. Right. They want to escape their, their legal obligation when they talk about the Arab country. No, the Arab country was with the Palestinian before 1948. The international community was with the Palestinian before 1948. And I already mentioned that India in particular refused, under the guidance and the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, refused the partition plan of Palestine. Long time ago. India was with us. Likewise, all the Arab country and the Muslim country. But when we put it as if this is an Arab or Muslim issue, this is utterly not true. And it should not be taken like this. For many reasons. When you put it like this, especially when you put it as a Muslim Israeli or Muslim Jewish, likewise the Israeli or the Zionist ominous school of thought is trying to portray the issue like this in around the world. This means that the others whom is not Muslim, whom have an Islamophobia, and there is Islamophobia in Europe, for example, it's very clear. Anyone who have an Islamophobia, who will put himself on the shoes of the Israeli directly, as long as we consider this matter as a Muslim versus Jew, which is again not true. The Arab, the Muslim, India, Hindus, for example, the vast majority of the support that we received is at the hand of the Hindus people. The vast majority of the support, the sympathy that I personally received, the vast majority of whom is coming to my office since I assumed my office, is Hindus people. It's not a Muslim question at all, and we will not accept it that. For many reasons, of course. It's a pure international law, a pure legitimate, a pure question that is related to the international law, to the adopted resolution, to all of this stuff. And part of our leaders, and I'm very proud to say that my very first leader in the Ministry of Planning and International Cooperation was a Jewish man, Ilan Halevi. One of the very first cabinet that established by Yasser Arafat, one of our ministers was rabbi, Jewish rabbi. The late Moshe Hirsch. The very first one to smuggle weapons to Arafat in 1967 is Archbishop. He's not only Christian, he's Archbishop. Okay. The very first one to establish the most tough bloody resistance movement was George Habashi, Christian man. The vast majority of the people whom is defending the question of Palestine in America, the outspoken person, the vast majority of them is Jewish people. So it's not related to Arab or to the Muslim question, it's an international question. But back to your question, the Arab is there, used to be there, still there, and will continue to be there with the Palestinians. They did not withdraw from the Palestinians at all. They did not took back their hands or did not backing the Palestinians. They are fully backing the Palestinians with all, of course, taken into consideration all the difficulties and the security difficulties that those countries are still facing.
Right. India and Palestine have shared a long friendship. Could you tell us main areas of cooperation between the two countries, and how do you see these ties growing in the future?
Again, historically speaking, I already tackled the issue. Right now, India is implementing many projects in West Bank in particular, many projects. And one of them is very soon will going to start, which is hospital. Just yesterday, I had a visit and good discussion with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And I'm pretty sure, and we deliver some requests. We are looking for India to join the international alliance for supporting the Palestinian Authority budget, which was created recently, to make sure that there is no financial collapse in the Palestinian Authority itself. And I asked them to do many things, and we look forward to India again to be in the day after. There is many things for India, and we look at many things to do it, in particular in Gaza, and we trust India will be there. Not only in an official manner, not only the government, which is there already in West Bank, but even at the level of the people, and which we used to receive tremendous amount of solidarity, tremendous wave of solidarity by the Indian people. We trust India in the official level, the government, under of course, the chairmanship of His Excellency the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the people themselves will be with us in the day after that.
You mentioned cooperation. Along with that, India often speaks about peace and justice on the global stage. How does Palestine see India's role in the Middle East peace process? And what do you expect from India at this time?
India is used to be and is still supporting the two-state solution, which was declared is even recently by His Excellency the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I mean, so two-state solution is the only solution that is still on the table, which is utterly, completely refused by the Israeli occupation themselves. And this is not our word. This is a declared position by the fugitive from justice, Benjamin Netanyahu himself. But India is still strong in supporting the two-state solution, which is very important. India, in the macro level, when it came to the United Nations General Assembly, United Nations resolutions, Human Rights Council, and all of this stuff, used to be vocal, very vocal in supporting the Palestinian question in this regard. So India was there, still with the Palestinian, and will continue in the theoretical level. I mean, when we talk about theoretical level, we mean that the international law itself, India very strong, having a very strong stance, and they did not move from it.
All right, sir. While these diplomatic ties are important, we also know that Palestine faces many challenges on the ground. Could you share with us the biggest difficulties your people are facing today and how your government is trying to deal with them?
When you say many, this might be a handcuff. We are facing thousands of difficulties. And Israel have a theory of dealing with the Palestinian issue. They should not walk up with 100 problems. Every day they should add to us more problems, more challenges to face. Because if we walk up with only 100 problems, we will be able to solve at least every day one problem. Then next day it will be 99, 98, 97. And we will be, by the end of the day, we will go to zero challenges. This is not the way how did Israel is creating the environment in front of the Palestinian people. And this is their not only this is their policy and their measures. They used to put in a daily basis more challenges in front of the Palestinian government. The utter, very clear challenge right now they are putting in and they are imposing or creating for the Palestinian government is the financial crisis. They are trying, and this is a declared position from the Israeli side, to bankruptcy the Palestinian Authority and to dismantle it, so that they did not transfer our money, our tax money, since 4 months. We are talking about $3 billion right now. We did not receive it from our money. We did not take it from Israel. Since November 2021, we, the Palestinian officials, did not receive our full salary since November 2021. The last salary that I personally received it was only 50% of our salary on May. 50% of my salary on me. Likewise, approximately 80,000 Palestinians. So that the most devastating issue right now is they are pushing and creating all the measures in the daily pace to collapse the Palestinian economy. They are erected, established, built approximately 1,000 gates in the West Bank, in the entrance of the villages. 1,000 gates. Put aside the checkpoints, the old checkpoints. These gates, if you are living in X or Y of these villages, you might not be able to leave the village for your work at the morning. And if you succeed to do so, you might not be able to back to your home to sleep with your child at the end of the day. Because only one, and we have videos to prove that, one of the fanatic, messianic, terrorist settler used to close the gate, and that's it. He decided, one person can be decided, those 3,000 or 5,000 residents of this village to be free or not to be free. And this having a very devastating economic consequence and the Palestinian, for the Palestinian people. The main entry, the main exit point for the Palestinian is go through Al-Karama Bridge. Amman, from West Bank to Amman. they used to close it so that 3.5 million Palestinians became hostages in West Bank. Many of them is stuck in Amman for 1 week and 10 days sometimes, which mean a devastating economic consequence for the Palestinian people. Many hundred of them used to sleep in the streets. But no one, unfortunately, know about all of these criminal measures.
Beyond politics, people-to-people connections are also very strong and very important. India and Palestine shares links in trade, culture and education. How would you describe the present cooperation in these areas, and where do you see more opportunities?
I already said that India is implementing many projects in Palestine when it came to education, heritage, and all of this stuff. Many projects already implemented, and many projects is still running, and many projects is to come. But after the war to come to its end, and I hope that it's not a war on Gaza, or after this bloodshed come to its end, after this textbook Israeli genocide in Gaza to come to its end, we look for India to be there in Gaza. India have a lot of expertise, especially when it came to the amputated arms and legs and all of these stuff. India have a very heavy and very well-respected, well-known experience in this regard. And to be very frank, I had discussed this issue many months ago with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and they told us, ready, just gave us the green light. Ready, India is ready to be there.
Let's talk about India's relation with Israel. At the same time, India is also building closer ties with Israel. How does Palestine look at this development? Do you think it may affect your country, or do you feel India can balance its relations with both sides?
When India started to strengthen its relation with Israel, early 1990s, they called and they invited Yasser Arafat to her to tell him that, because in politics nothing should be came as a surprise. It's something we used to discuss it. So when they invited Yasser Arafat to inform him that we will start a new phase with Israel, political relation phase with Israel, Yasser Arafat smiled and told them, this will be in our benefit, your strong relation, your good relation with Israel. We're gonna utilize it as Palestinian to develop the peace process and to develop the two-state solution and all of this stuff. So we look, but also it's very important to say that we did not have the right to veto or to criticize any bilateral relation with any country or between any country. But we used to monitor this relation, and when we have any concern, and we used to have concern, I personally used to go to the Minister of Foreign Affairs to raise our concern. This should not be against, because there is a general frame. When you talk about the India or X or Y country with Israel, we used to say that it should be aligned with the international law. India investing in Israel, which is good, but it should not be investing any investment in this settlement. This is very important to us, because in this case, investing in Israel is completely different than investing in the settlement itself, and this is go against the Security Council Resolution 234, I think, 2016, which call loud and clear in this paragraph number 5 to differentiate between the Israeli territory and the Palestinian, the occupied territory.
We have spoke about India, but let me also ask about the wider world. International bodies like the United Nations often discuss Palestine. From your point of view, how important is their role in resolving the conflict, and do you think they should do more?
United Nations is the one that discussed the Palestinian question since it was established, early 1945, 1946. And the United Nations itself is the one that divided our land and the resolution 181. United Nations itself is still dealing and considering the Palestinian question, and there is more than 1,000 2000 adopted resolution in the United Nations itself, United Nations General Assembly, and of course Security Council. United Nations is a key pillar in guard and in maintain the international law. But unfortunately, United Nations became totally paralyzed when it came to Israel, and the Security Council itself became utterly, totally paralyzed when it came to Israel and the Israeli occupation because the American veto. I'm not revealing a secret by the end of the day. The vast majority state used the vetoes approximately, some statistics talking about 85, 88 times. The vast majority of them is against the Palestinian people and to protect the Israeli occupation. But again, it's very important because we are talking about the international law. And the law is the law by the end of the day.
Yes.
We are totally backed by the international law. Israel is totally, utterly is not backed by the international law. But by the end of the day, what is running right now is the logic of power. The might create right. It's the military power, but not the legal power. Israel have the full military power, backed by many countries, of course, with the military power, with the logic of power. Yeah. But we, the Palestinians, used to still and will continue to have the international law in our side, the power of logic, not the right which create the might that create the right.
In addition to global support, the politics of West Asia itself changing very fast. With many new alliances being formed, how does Palestine see its place in this changing regional situation?
If you mean BRICS, for example, which is a very important platform, and we look forward to become, of course, part or official member of BRICS. We look forward to India to support us to be there. BRICS is very important platform, BRICS for the South itself, and when it came to the South-South Cooperation, India, the champion of the South-South Cooperation, we are part of the South-South Cooperation. All these platforms is very important for us and very important for our shared future as a Southern country.
All right, sir. What do you think the proposed Gaza peace plan will work out to end the war? Is withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Palestine be part of the peace plan?
It should be part. I'm going to come to the next part of your question. What is the meaning of peace while the Israeli occupation is still in Gaza? What is the meaning of peace process while the Israeli settlers, the Israeli occupation army is battling and day and night moving in West Bank itself? Peace means no occupation. There is no way to talk about peace and the Israeli occupation. There is no way to talk about peace and two-state solution where the Israeli fanatic, messianic, terrorist gangs is battling and living in West Bank. So that by default, by definition, peace means withdrawal of the Israeli occupation, dismantling the Israeli settlement project from West Bank.
All right. Who will take a guarantee of protection of Palestine from further attacks from Israel? Do you think that it will happen?
The main issue that should be implemented is the peace process. If there is peace, there is no need to talk about security and all of these security measures. But anyhow, if there is a peace, if there is a will, there is a way. But currently, in these days, yes, we need, and the President Abbas 2 years ago loud and declared his voice in the United Nations, protect us. We need protection. After 2 years of relentless bombardment of Gaza, it is utterly very clear that the Palestinian people in Gaza and West Bank need protection. United Nations Security Council, United Nations General Assembly should call for and adopted and implement and creating special forests to protect the Palestinian people. It's very important. Then we should, or Israel should, come to the negotiation table and to abide by the international law, by the adopted resolution to put an end to its occupation. And in this case, all of us will be secure. Peace means security. Occupation means no one will be secure.
Let's talk about social media's role. What role do you think social media plays in the current situation in Palestine?
Indeed, the social media is played and
Whether is it positive or negative?
utterly positive in the macro level.
Right.
But let me just back a bit, because 20 years ago there is no social media. There is just the full complicit vast majority of the Western media, which is controlled by the Zionist movement. And this is not anti-Semitic. I'm a Semitic, so that no one can accuse me of being anti-Semitic. So the regular media platform, the traditional media platform, is played and a devastating and unfair role against us as the Palestinian people. The only issue that was occupied the discourse worldwide is only the Israeli or the Zionist narrative itself. But by creating and establishing the social media itself, the Palestinians start posting, start telling part of their story, reporting about their daily life under the Israeli occupation, so that the new generation who's using the social media itself woke up and start realizing that there is another story, there is another chapter, there is another people whom have a real issue on the ground. Yeah. Since the beginning of this genocidal war, the only media that saved us, because again, the vast majority of the Western media used to be still, and it will continue to be, biased to the Israeli narrative itself. But the social media, especially the people whom are from the ground, from Gaza, West Bank, whom start reporting about their daily suffering and the daily misery that they are enduring, start be published, and the people all around the world start watching the reality as it is, naked reality. It's not fabricated, it's not edited reality. Again, likewise, the vast majority of the Western complicit media. This changed the course. But is this enough? We still been censored. And just yesterday, the Israeli Prime Minister called loud and clear to own many of those social media platforms. Besides, many is already paying money to censor the Palestinian question. So we look forward to this not to be so totally censored, because many of our issues not still. What is published in the social media is a tip of iceberg, but it is necessary but not sufficient. But the other role that can be played by the young generation when it came to the social media, whom is not leaving their smartphones, just don't stop posting in the social media. Follow all those criminal gangster politicians whom is supporting loud and clear the genocide on Gaza. They have their own social media account. Just post in their social media account nothing except the videos, the photos that came from Gaza. Not more than that. Post it, share it with them. Not more than that. When it came to the students, to the new generation whom woke up, whom is very or very loyal to the social media, it's your time to tell the story. It's your time to share, not stop sharing the Palestinian misery, the videos, the photos that came from West Bank and Gaza, to share it on the social media, reshare it, and in particular, to share it with all the complicit, all the politicians who was heavily engaged and heavily supporting this carnage. Social media, accounts.
Coming back to India once again, sir, are there specific areas where you would like to see more support or cooperation from the Indian government and the people of India?
Yes, I said that. And just again, yesterday I was in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We would like to see India as part of the international alliance to support the Palestinian budget, which is already established for the upcoming 6 months. We would like to see India is participating in a significant millions of dollars, of course, per month to the Palestinian Authority. We look for India to start thinking and really preparing for the day after on the war Gaza, to be there, to heavily invest and to heavily support the Palestinian people who is in desperate need right now in all the sectors.
And finally, Your Excellency, what message would you like to give to the people of India, many of whom feel solidarity with the Palestinian cause, about your struggle for peace and statehood? And if you want to say something to Prime Minister of India, or you would like to give any message to Prime Minister of India?
To both of them, whom is in solidarity with Palestine and whom is unfortunately is not in solidarity of Palestine. What we are looking for is just you to listen to us. Give us the chance to tell our story. Don't judge us through the lens of the Israeli occupation or through the regular lens that you are used to judge us. We have history. No one is knowing it. We look forward to you to listen to us. It's very important to listen to our story, not just to report about to listen to the reports that came from Palestine, whether it is from the Palestinian side or the Israeli side. There is a big story. We want you to know it. This is not in our benefit. No one is safe until everyone is safe, and we have one and shared a human future. God bless India. God bless all of you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time. We hope this conversation will help people of India to understand Palestine's journey and aspiration for peace. Thank you so much, sir.